Good lick, Charlie. What's wrong with you? What happened?
Oh! Still stopping.
Everyone focuses on the NFL, but really there's not that many people playing football in the NFL. Most of the people who play football are actually under 14 years old.
By now, we've all heard about the devastating mental and physical costs of playing professional football. But what about the hits players take long before they get to the NFL, or just the typical young athlete playing for fun? Physicians and researchers are now looking at the consequences of concussions in children, and what they're finding is troubling.
Concussions in childhood is enormous. I mean, I think it's really a public health issue. After even a single mild injury in a preschooler, that they may show some behavior changes and cognitive changes as they get older. The truth is, we can't get a handle on the statistics, the number of concussions, because concussions are treated in so many different areas. But we think it's millions of concussions occurring each year.
There are two common problems when dealing with concussions. First, many are initially ignored because teams have to rely on the athlete to report their symptoms. And second, if an athlete is not immediately pulled out of a game after sustaining a concussion, they risk far more serious problems.
I set up a wall with pictures of kids that have suffered catastrophic brain injury while playing football. Almost all of these kids have suffered second impacts, and almost all of them died. But this keeps it very real for us and motivates us every day to do the best we can in getting this technology out there.
Greg Merrill is the founder of Sentry, a company based in Bethesda, Maryland, that is hoping to solve these issues with a new piece of technology.
So the Sentry sensor is a 1-ounce piece of plastic with some electronics in it. It has a peel and stick adhesive, just sticks on the back of the helmet. What it's looking for is 3 different things. It's looking for the direction of the impact to the head. It's looking for the peak acceleration of the head and the duration, the length of time in which that acceleration is happening. When those 3 things line up just wrong, it turns on a bright red light on the back of the helmet. So now if you see a kid running in the field with a red light on their helmet, pull the kid to the sidelines and you can give them a standard concussion assessment.
Essentially, Merrill is hoping to create a cheap and objective way to identify who has been exposed to a concussive hit. It won't prevent concussions, but it will force athletes to undergo an evaluation and hopefully avoid further damage.
When I was first thinking about developing the sensor technology, I went out for a beer with a local football coach in the youth program, and he said, "There's no way I'm putting a sensor on the kid's helmet. What happens if it's 3rd down and 2 yards to go and the kid's light goes off?" It was so much about his ego that he was willing to put at risk an 8-year-old's brain health in order to win that game.
While physicians say this is a good first step, a trained professional is still needed to perform an evaluation after the light goes off. Sentry has teamed up with Georgetown University to test and fine-tune its product.
Especially in field sports where there might be 22 athletes on the field at a time, it's not possible for any one person to see absolutely every collision, every hit, every blow that happens on the field. These might alert us a little bit sooner to that athlete who maybe took a hit that we didn't see.
The technology is not perfect because concussions are so personal. No 2 injuries are the same. And there's been some pushback from teams out of fear of disrupting the flow of a game because of technology that says a concussion might have occurred.
Some people think that if ADGs equals concussion, then that athlete needs to be pulled out of the game, essentially ejected from play. I don't think we're ready for that yet. I think there are a lot of athletes who will sustain an ADG hit who, if we evaluate them, may be just fine.
But still, at about $65 per year, Sentry sees this technology as cheap enough for it to become ubiquitous across contact sports at all levels, and used in a way that could fundamentally help improve sports safety.
What we're going to see happening in the near future is that this kind of technology will be used not just to detect the big impacts, but we're going to use technology like this to start counting just your average hits. And we're going to do for kids' brains what pitch counting has done for kids' arms in baseball. We're going to be able to manage the number of impacts and potentially eliminate the onset of chronic brain injury that happens from multiple repetitive hits. That's part of the promise for this technology in the future.